come we having this book though?
I know. I saw the budget book. It looks.
Yeah, I didn't bring mine. I took mine home. And that,
Okay. All right. Well, I'd like to say greetings. Good morning to everyone. We'd like to welcome you to our second commission meeting for December. Our second Board of Commissioners meeting. It is now 12 or 11:09. I'd like to call the meeting to order at 11:09 a.m. Welcome. Go ahead and start with our next item on the agenda, which is our roll call. So, Commissioner Stubbs, are you here? Commissioner Adams?
Here.
Commissioner Harvey, are you here? Yes, I think he's here. So,
okay.
we got a full quorum today. So everyone is here. Our next item is invocation, and we got a big crowd to select from.
I'll do it, Jim.
All right, Commissioner Adams. Hey, his it's not your final yet.
No.
We still got another meeting. Okay, Commissioner Adams. Thank you much for giving us the prayer.
Our dear Father in heaven, as we come to this meeting today as county commissioners and staff and members of the public, we're grateful for the chance we have to serve. We're grateful for the positions of trust that we hold. We ask you to especially bless all of our workers in the county and keep them safe from harm or an accident. We ask you to bless us as commissioners that will make good decisions. We're grateful to live in a free country and enjoy the freedoms that we enjoy. We ask you to bless our president and our governor, that they'll make good decisions that will benefit us here in San Juan County. We're grateful for the citizenry we have. We ask you to watch over and protect them. We ask you to help us to follow the Constitution and do the things that we should to keep our freedoms, and we're grateful for the free land we live in, grateful for the county and state we live in. We're grateful for all that we have and are blessed with, and ask these things in the name of thy Son, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen. All right. Next item on our agenda is the Pledge of Allegiance. So if you don't mind standing with us.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you much for that. Moving on to our conflict of interest disclosure for commissioners. Commissioners, if you
I have no conflict to declare.
no conflict for Commissioner Adams. Commissioner Stubbs, have you had a chance to review the agenda?
Yes, no conflict.
No conflict for Commissioner Stubbs. And just making sure my wife's name's not on here. Yeah, so I believe I am clear. I have no conflict listed, commissioners, for the record. Thank you much. Moving on to our next item, our public comment section. I'll go ahead and defer to Mac.
Okay. Nobody has signed up on the sheet here to give public comments. Is there anybody in the audience or online who would like to make a public comment? Larry went dark, so that means he doesn't want to make a public comment. So, commissioners, that is your public comment period today.
Thank you, Mac. All right. Let's go ahead and keep moving on our agenda to our consent agenda items. We have a total of 12. Mac?
Okay, this is an approval of $13,780.82 in small purchases. You have $8,922.90 for Livewire vest, and you have $2,182.92 for a Dell Pro rugged laptop for the county jail. Both of those are sheriff and jail related. You have $2,675, and you have $15,226.02 for recording equipment for the CJC. Let me check and see real fast on the $2,000. Let me make sure what we have here. So we have the recording equipment, so that 2,000 should have, so strike that from there. That shouldn't be on the agenda, so that was a typo where we don't have it. Let me go back to the top. The rest of the consent agenda items. So on item number 2, you have the approval of the November 5th, 2024 commission meeting minutes. Item 3, approval of the November 19th, 2024 commission work meeting minutes. Item number 4, approval of the November 19th, 2024 commission meeting minutes. Item number 5, approval of the December 3rd, 2024 commission work meeting minutes. Then item number 6, approval of the December 3rd, 2024 commission meeting minutes. Item number 7 is the approval of the check registers for November 20th through December 13th of 2024. Item number 8 is approval of the lease and service agreement with ImageNet for San Juan County Clerk Auditor's Office print copy machine. You have item number 9, the approval of a single event permit, the local consent for alcohol sales for the Climb Moab LLC. This is a event where they want to serve alcohol. This is an annual event, so this is, I think, the 3rd time that at least I've seen it come to the county. This is a requirement from the state that the local level also approves it before they give them the state gives them an event permit. Item number 10 is the approval of the appointment for San Juan County Tourism Tax Advisory Board to appoint Harold Simpson as a new board member for a 4-year term. The next one, you have approval of the reappointment of Carrie Dieter to the San Juan Economic Development Board for an additional 4-year terms. Then item number 12 is the approval of the reappointment of David Ivans, Marks Powell, Heidi Red, and Shane Shumway to serve on the San Juan Water Conservancy District Board to serve 4-year terms. You'll see a little bit more of those as they come forward as we try to fill the vacancies within the other boards of the county, and we always place these on the consent agenda. Typically behind the scenes we receive a recommendation from the board itself if it's possible in the meeting to appoint or reappoint those, and so you'll see some of those in the next commission meeting as well. And commissioners, that today is your consent agenda item for your approval.
Commissioners, any questions or comments? If not, I'd like to ask for a motion.
I make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Motion by Commissioner Stubbs to approve consent agenda items.
Second.
Seconded by Commissioner Adams. Mac, just for clarification, we omitted for the typo under number 1.
That $2,675. When I looked at the purchase order, and that was my mistake late at night.
Okay.
If the employees in their departments, if they purchase items that are under $1,000, then they don't have to have a purchase order. And the purchase order in total was $2,675, but the individual widgets were less than $1,000. They just had multiple of those widgets, and so
Okay.
because of that, I took it off. It didn't require a purchase order.
Oh, I see. I thought for a minute there the sheriff was making an album, but that's for the children's justice.
No, just the recording equipment. And that's a reimbursable by the state.
Okay.
Just so you're aware on that $15,000.
All right, commissioners, let's go ahead and vote. All those in favor to approve the consent agenda item, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. That's 3 in favor, unanimous approval. Moving on to our next agenda item, business and action items. Matt?
Okay, item number 13 is consideration and approval of the standard service contract between Topline Installers Incorporated and San Juan County for roofing installation at the Fair Exhibit Building. This is Sam Long is our director for facilities here. Coming up and explain what we're doing. Good to see you today, Sam.
pretty good to be seen, I guess.
I know we rarely see you with all these projects going on last minute. Tried to get them all done.
Yep. So for this one, this is the exhibit building on the fairgrounds. This is the red building, kind of a half dome shaped roof. The roofing material on that building is it's kind of a slatted metal. It's almost like siding that you would find on a vertical wall. And at the joints between the individual pieces of siding, basically, it leaks badly. And if you look at the ceiling tiles throughout that building, well over half are stained with watermarks. We've gone through and tried to seal up those joints as much as possible, but it's just it's the wrong application for that type of roofing on that type of building. So we found that we do have Matt found that we have some ARPA funds still available to use to replace that roof.
Okay, thank you. Commissioners, any questions or comments?
I just want to make a comment that I just like seeing all this stuff is being fixed, in this building, all around, using wisely the funds of the ARPA funds, and I think it's going to be something that'll last us for quite a while to have all these facilities being upgraded, and thank you for all your work you do.
Thank you.
Okay. Any comments, other comments or questions, commissioners?
I'm just wondering, are you repairing the roof or replacing it?
Replacing it.
Replacing it.
Yep. The
It was
existing,
beyond repair.
yep.
Okay.
The existing roofing material will be completely removed down to the trusses of that building.
And I'm trying to remember which one's the red building.
It's a metal where they have all
it's a metal building
fair-
with a metal roof.
They
It
do the
has
exhibits in the building.
all the exhibits.
All the
along-
exhibits
along
during the fair.
The south wall of the building, they have the little booths that are
Okay.
constructed
the
in there.
quilts and things like
Okay.
that.
We department parks their vehicle in there in the
Yeah,
wintertime.
Okay. Well, good. Sounds like a good project.
All right, I just need a motion, commissioners.
I'll make a motion, we approve.
Okay. Motion by Commissioner Adams to approve ARPA funds.
And I'll second it.
Second it by Commissioner Stubbs. All right, let's take a vote then. All those in favor to approve, say aye.
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 That's 3 in favor, unanimous approval. Thank you much, Sam.
He's got the next
Okay,
one.
this
Oh,
is similar
next
to
one.
the same, just a
Okay.
different building.
Sorry. Got 3 there. Okay.
Which one am I on?
Number
This is
14.
hide out. Okay, I skipped the Sal. Okay, there we go.
So, LaSalle Senior Center. That roof is also in need of replacement. We had kind of some harsh conditions up there where the building is kind of out in the flats, and the wind does a number on that roof. Each year we spend more and more time and other resources trying to repair that roof. The asphalt shingles come off in bundles, and it's been getting worse and worse every year, and it's just time that it needs to be replaced completely. We plan on replacing it with a metal roofing system that should hold up better to the conditions out there.
Is it a sloped roof?
Yes.
Yeah.
It is.
I like
So,
sloped roofs.
that's exactly, that's a repeat of a conversation we had on the jail.
Okay, commissioners, what do you think?
I'll make a motion, we approve a contract to replace the roof at the senior center in LaSalle.
Motion to approve by Commissioner
I'll
Adams.
second it.
Second it by Commissioner Stubbs. Okay,
I
let's.
just want to make a quick
ahead,
comment.
Commissioner.
It's so nice to do some things for LaSalle Senior Center. Maybe someday we can do a parking lot, better parking lot for them, and
That actually has been dramatically improved over this last summer.
oh, good.
That was most of that parking area is paved now.
Oh, good.
Yep.
Thank
Cool.
you.
All right, let's vote. All those in favor to approve the project? Aye.
Aye.
That's 3 in favor. Unanimous approval. Next item, item 15.
Okay, this one is another roofing related project. Instead of a complete replacement like the last two, this one is some repairs on the Hideout Community Center building here in Monticello. Along the south edge of the roof of that building, we have a lot of wind exposure on that south edge. And what has happened is it has pulled kind of a nailing strip that's attached to the structure of the building. That has separated from the structure of the building. And then the drip edge and the roofing membrane is then attached to that nailer. So what it allows the wind to get up under the roofing membrane and drive moisture, wind, rain, snow, all of that into the building. We have had some leaks inside of the building because of it. It's not a failure of the roofing membrane itself, but more of a failure of the attachment between that nailing strip and the structure of the building. So the solution for that is to go in, we're gonna have to remove a strip of roofing membrane along the edge of that roof to be able to get down under the existing drip edge, down to the nailer, reattach the nailer into the structure of the building with some construction adhesive, much more robust fasteners, and then rebuild from there up.
Are they going to be able to do that this year?
Not before the end of the year, but they do expect to be able to do it throughout the winter, work on it throughout the winter time. We don't have to wait till spring.
Okay.
With the ARPA funds, one of the requirements so they expire at the end of December unless you have the funds obligated in a contract.
Okay.
So these 3 projects are the obligation, the 3 contracts are the obligation of those ARPA funds. And you kind of think, well, how come all of a sudden this popped up? We had been watching all of so we had budgeted just over 200,000 for repairs and gadgets down at the rodeo, the fairgrounds. This is the remainder after we've replaced the light, the sound system, dirt, kind of made the improvements. There was remaining funds that are available out of that. And so this is to hopefully spend out all those funds.
Good.
All right, commissioners, what do you think?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Motion by Commissioner Stubbs to approve.
I'll second the motion to approve the contract on the Hideout Community Center roof repair.
Seconded by Commissioner Adams. The only question I have is the roof a flat roof?
That one is.
No,
Isn't
no,
it?
it's not
Is it
completely
pitched?
flat.
Oh,
Yeah,
see, that's
it
the
does
other
have a
building
little
Bruce
pitch
built.
on it. It does have a pitch.
Oh, cool.
All right,
I wonder why it's pitched.
so let's vote. All those in favor, say aye.
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 It's 3 in favor, unanimous approval. Thank you, Sam.
Thank you so much.
You have
you.
have
Thanks,
some
Sam.
talent. Dome, pitched, and flat.
Yeah, we've got a wide variety. Thank you.
Uh,
See it.
Right. Item number
16. This one's consideration and approval of
This is Talia.
memorandum of understanding between Deb Brown and San Juan County. We have Talia here, Economic Development Manager.
Okay,
Okay, take it away. It's all you.
so we had Deb Brown come for base camp. Elaine Gisler had scheduled her for the base camp, and she did a wonderful job. In fact, before I could even fall asleep, I had tons of people texting me all the things they want to do for San Juan County and their projects. And I would like to bring her back so that she's spending a day and a half where her visit will be focused on helping me kind of gather all those ideas and pitch them forward so that I can learn how to not be the spearhead of everything, but to how to gather and be able to get things moving forward through our community and the different organizations that we can work with. And then the other half of the day is helping me. She specializes in revising or in chambers of commerce. And I've been working with Mayor Bailey and bringing back the chamber. And so she'll kind of help us make sure that we have all of our ducks in a row. And then our goal is to launch the chamber in April, on April 28th, at the next base camp conference. So this is the contract for her.
Very good. Commissioners? Memorandum of Understanding.
I just want to make a comment. Can I do it before? It was nice to attend base camp and get to meet her. She's amazing, all the ideas and how quickly. I mean, she had to go really fast in order to give us all the
There's a lot, yeah.
information that she has, and each of us received a book where it talks about building communities, and and she seemed to have many experience in different settings, and so it's nice to hear her back. So
Yeah, she's been fantastic and just very generous with her knowledge and experience, which I appreciate. One thing I forgot to mention is that one of the grants that we wrote for will pay for this as part of the training, because I feel like that's something that's very valuable for me to learn.
Okay.
Yeah, make a motion, we approve the memorandum of understanding.
Motion by Commissioner Adams,
I'll second it.
seconded by Commissioner Stubbs. Talia, I was just curious. The keynote is about unlocking rural potential. Would that happen to include customers that have accidentally locked themselves out of their cars? Businesses and those
I like
strategies?
that. It should include that. I now feel inspired to have a lock thing in my car just in case.
Well, did you lock yourself?
No, maybe.
Yeah, Talia witnessed me. Okay, that's all. Thank you.
That's funny.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
3 in favor. Motion carries unanimously. All right. Next one is item 17.
Okay, this one is consideration and approval of the Alpha Maps licensing agreement. Talia, this is you again.
This is
Awesome.
me again. So this is actually brought about by Ben and Caden, who before I came, were working to see if we could find a program that could help us be able to identify commercial properties better, because that's something that we really are struggling with. And so that is what Alpha Maps licensing agreement will mainly be able to help us. But it also adds some features that I really like too. So we're able to see kind of traffic patterns. So if we looked at Clark's Market, we'd be able to see kind of who's coming there and from where. And it captures some basic data for us that I thought was super interesting, and that our businesses can use. So the unique part about this was that it's the only one that we were able to find that would allow us to share licensing. So the price will allow us to get 3 separate licenses. We'll share with Landing City, Monticello City, and then the county, so that each of us will be able to do it on our own. But also, if anyone in the county all wants any of that information, they can also come to me to be able to do that.
So when you talk about commercial property, that means businesses, where businesses are located.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep. So, and it also helps us to identify businesses that we could bring in, and it matches us by our rural area of things that are comparable, that we could bring in too if we want to seek out stuff. So kind of like they got their O'Reillys, it would have helped with that process.
I want to make a comment. Last night I was here at the planning and zoning meeting, and they were talking about, a local business, the one we have, a local business, and how they are the ones that contribute to all the activity, the high school and activities, and now we get in these new businesses, they have corporation, the funds, lots of the funds go to the corporation. But I wanted to make a comment that we do need those business too. because we always, like I kind of have loyalty to the business local, owned by local, because I know they do contribute a lot. Anytime we need something as a county, those are the ones we go for donation. Those are the ones we go for gifts and whatever
Yeah.
to help us. But also, we had to emphasize that study that we had, there were millions and millions of dollars are leaving the county, and just with the new general dollar store, I have some members of the family, they go other places to buy things, and they're finding out the things that they carry, they don't carry everything, but some of the things are cheaper than when they go buy someplace else. So that it will help to retain some of those dollars that are leaving the cities, in the county. So sometimes, um, we can agree with it. We support the local people because they're the one. But also, there's another need for us to have ones that probably brings more sales taxes and different things to the cities, and it's
Yeah, I think there's a mix that we need. It definitely. One of the things I like about this tool too is it can inspire people that are local, and um, a lot of times people have great ideas. They just don't know where to go or where to
Yeah.
start, what building to go to, what property is available. And so that's something we wanted to be able to open up more. And then it also allows us to have other companies come in, because really it's about the quality of life that we have, right?
Yeah.
That was the one trick when I moved down here, and I was like, oh, wait, I can't. There's no clothing stores. And I was like, that's tricky.
So that it also show properties available
Yes.
for
Yep.
business.
And we're trying to, we also can map it out so that we, as on the city levels, they'll know. And we're just faster when people are asking us.
Because, I spent 2 days making phone calls and trying to find some property to show to somebody, a developer, and it takes time.
It does. And that's something that we really want to make happen quicker for our community so that we can be more decisive and moving forward. So, yeah.
Thank you.
Uh-huh.
Okay. How do we want to move, commissioners?
Make a motion, we approve the licensing agreement between Alpha Maps and San Juan County.
Motion by Commissioner Adams to approve.
I'll say.
Second by Commissioner Stubbs. Right. Any other comments before a vote? Okay. Hearing none, let's vote. All those in favor to approve? Aye.
Aye.
It's
Thank
3
you.
in favor. Unanimous approval.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Moving on to item number 18. Matt.
Okay, this one here is consideration and approval of an ordinance adopting the regular scheduled county meeting for the 2025 annual meeting scheduled pursuant to section 52-4-202 of Utah Code. We're keeping our same schedule, that first Tuesday of every month from 9 to 10 would be, or 9 to 11 is the work session if we need one, and then 11 on until 12 or 1. And then the third Tuesday of every month from 9 to 11. Those months that have a fifth Tuesday, we would not have a regular scheduled meeting. This ordinance does allow us to have special meetings as needed, or that cancellation of a meeting. It'll be interesting this next year. We won't have like the rodeo and Lake Powell.
There'll be a few.
It'll be sad. We're gonna have to work that in somehow, but
We'll have a few Fifth Tuesday this year.
yes, and so that will be the schedule. We're supposed to adopt it by ordinance, and then we will publish in the paper this schedule as well.
So the one we're planning for on the 30th of this month, that's a special meeting.
This is a special meeting to adopt some of the planning ordinances as well as our budget that's required to be adopted by the 31st.
Okay. This plots out our next year meeting patterns, Commissioner.
I make a motion that we accept this San Juan County ordinance to adopt a regular schedule for the year 2024.
Motion to approve by Commissioner Stubbs,
I'll second it.
seconded by Commissioner Adams. Any other comments or questions? Now that there are none, let's
So
take a
you-
vote. Oh,
I was gonna say, Commissioner, are you gonna come and sit and so you can be audience for us?
Put you on public comment.
Anyway,
all right. Let's vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
That is 3 in favor, unanimous approval. Moving on to the next item, 19.
Okay, this is consideration and approval of request for a waiver of building permit fees for the new hospital. In our fee schedule and our fee ordinance, it allows for us to either administratively waive some of the fees, or you take it to the commission to waive some of the fees. In anticipation of the hospital project, the health district, San Juan Health District director or CEO had reached out to us asking for a waiver, but not completely of all of the fees. He, in respect of the county staff and the efforts that they're going to have to undertake to make sure that the building inspections, permit review, plan exam, all of that, he's willing to pay us $25,000 to cover our costs administratively, and then we would waive the rest of the fees for the building permit and building inspection.
I have a question. How much would be the regular permit for
It'd be
a
around
project like
probably
that?
90,000 ish. It's based off of the square footage, and the hospital's a big building, and so it goes off of per square foot on that schedule. I don't have the specifics on the formula. We had just come to an agreement that he was willing to pay 25,000, as well as so if you think back to some of the budget hearings that we had this year, one of the requests was for a special program that helps our building inspector, planning director review plans, make changes and update drawings, things like that. Clayton, he's willing to provide a license to our building inspector so that he has that up-to-date software, so he's able to view the plans online instead of have to try to convert them. So it's really 25,000 plus a license to Revit. Revit is the architectural program that the plans are drawn in.
I'll make a motion that we
So you're approving the waiver.
approve the request for a special consideration on building permit fees for the new hospital.
Okay, motion by Commissioner Stubbs,
I'll second it.
seconded by Commissioner Adams to approve the waiver. Any other comments or questions, Commissioner? Okay, hearing none, let's vote. All those in favor to approve building permit fee waiver for San Juan Health District, say aye.
Aye.
That's 3 in favor. 3 unanimous approval. Moving on
Okay,
to
the
the
next
last
one
item.
here, we got one more before the
Board of
Board of
Equalization.
Equalization.
Okay.
We've got this one here is consideration and approval of an all-weather operating system inspection, verification, and maintenance service agreement between San Juan County and Everest Communications LLC. This year we've been working, and you've seen the contracts go through with the all-weather operating system installation out at Cal Black. As they installed the new, it's a Mesotech system. I had reached back out to DBT Transportation Systems. We've had a contract with DBT Transportation for years. They provide the inspection and maintenance of our old AWAS system. The new Mesotech system requires that the individuals working on the system be certified on that system. I reached out to DBT and asked them if they were certified to work on the Mesotech, which they are not. They hope to become, and they're working to become certified. They just don't have that certification right now. And so I had to break our contract with DBT. It was for another it expires here in January. But I let them know that we would no longer be able to contract with them for the service, and it's actually a savings for us. Everest Communication also services the Monticello and Blanding airports. Because of that, they can share when they're here inspecting those. They can also inspect ours. I'm hoping that they understand the drive time out to Cow Black. It's a little bit lengthy from Blanding, but yeah, they're willing to share in some of those costs, that opportunity as they're here. It will save us travel expenses, and so overall, you're looking about $3,915 for the contract plus any repairs that they have to provide, compared to DBT, who was at $11,573 a year for their contract. So overall, it's a savings. It's a pretty good opportunity for us. It is similar to a sole source contract where we didn't put this out to RFP on the service, just knowing that the individual companies actually had to be certified on Mesotech, and they had given us the list of the only vendor that was really in this area that could work on it, that would be cost efficient for us.
Okay, commissioners. Contract for Everest Communications LLC.
Make a motion, we approve that contract.
Motion by Commissioner Adams to approve the contract.
I'll second it.
Seconded by Commissioner Stubbs. Any other comments or questions before we vote? Okay,
No.
all right, let's go ahead and take a vote then. All those in favor to approve the contract, say aye.
Aye.
That's 3 in favor, unanimously approved. Now on our agenda, Board of Equalization, commissioners.
I'll make a motion, we go into Board of Equalization.
Motion by Commissioner Adams to move into Board of Equalization.
I'll second that.
Seconded by Commissioner Stubbs. Let's vote on that. All those in favor to move to Board of Equalization mode.
Aye.
Aye. It's 3 in favor. Unanimous approval. We are now the Board of Equalization.
Well, commissioners, we have one, which is fantastic. So this is a home down in Montezuma Canyon. It was Craig DeHart's home, a nice, big, huge home. Anyway, they built another home, and his sister moved into that home in March. And all we're requesting is to change on that second home from secondary to primary residence. She's there full time, so this is a good one. End of the year.
So is there 2 homes down there now?
There is.
And
So-
she lives in one, who somebody else lives in the other one?
Yes, Mr. Pratt. I didn't get his first name. Oh yeah.
And he,
Pratt live in the main home, and behind them, their daughters moved with her family into that home.
Is it their daughter or sister? Well, it's a relative. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
so
Yeah.
they're each primary residents. They're not either one secondary.
No.
Okay.
So-
Okay, I'll make a motion. We approve the recommendations by the county auditor to change from secondary to primary residence.
Okay. Motion by Commissioner Adams.
I'll second that.
Seconded by Commissioner Stubbs. Any other comments or questions before we vote?
No.
Okay.
It's a simple one.
All right. Let's
Good.
vote. All those in favor to approve the change? Aye.
Aye.
It's 3 in favor. Unanimous approval. Okay. Now we need to exit, right?
Does he have, you have others?
No, just the one. Just
Okay.
one.
I'll make a motion. We come out of Board of Equalization back into a regular commission meeting.
I'll second that.
Motion by Commissioner Adam to exit, seconded by Commissioner Stubbs. Right, let's vote to exit. All those in favor to exit Board of Equalization, aye.
Aye.
It's 3 in favor, unanimous approval. We are now back on our regular commission hat. So, moving with our agenda, we are now on commission reports. So, who would like to volunteer to be the first to report?
I think we should have a meeting on the 31st too.
Oh, that's right. You know what? I just had a
Right? Have a meeting on the 31st too.
Yeah.
a very
I
important thought.
just got a text from Lori, and she says that the lady in the canyon has not sold her primary residence in Indiana. Does that?
I believe that is correct. The home hasn't been sold in Indiana. The husband's up north and she's down here. I believe is what the situation is.
So I guess there's a question about primary residence in Lori's mind.
Okay, that's probably a good point.
So it'd be she's questioning whether or not it's a secondary home instead of a primary residence.
Yeah.
She just lives here part time.
No, she's here until home sells, the family gets back together, and that could be a few months, could be a year or longer.
Okay.
So they're registered to vote in where the primary home is? So when they wanted to vote, they register where the primary home is?
That means they're living in there full time, essentially, and not a vacation home or something like that to get that credit.
So what do we do?
You can check to verify it, Lyman. I mean, it was approved as a primary. Secondary, if it's a secondary home, you pay more in property taxes than you would if it's your primary home. And so,
She just says the daughter is here only temporarily in the home in the canyon. She has not sold primary residence in Indiana.
That's correct.
okay. Yeah, we'll have to check and see if if it qualifies as a secondary home.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bring that back on the
Right, we
30th.
don't know that. I just barely know just a little bit of the details, but Lori's correct.
Okay.
And so,
So do we give her the,
guess we
You
can
could
make a
flag
motion.
it in your system or go back and reconsider. Table it until the 30th.
maybe?
That give us time to check this out better.
Yeah. So somebody can make a motion to, well,
Return.
you'd have to go back into board equalization. You're gonna be looking like we used to do that quite a bit.
So I make a motion that we
commission
go
meetings.
Did
back.
Well, didn't you remember
To the
a
Board of
couple years ago, we'd
Equalization?
have to go right back up at the top.
Okay.
Do we need to see if Rick can come back up or what?
I can go grab him and come up, or we could just move on and I'll hold the paperwork at my desk until the 30th.
Okay,
For the commission vote again, what would you like to do?
let's just hold the paperwork till the 30th.
Okay.
We won't have
Yeah,
change
made a
anything
motion.
right
And
now.
then we'll change the motion then.
Okay,
Yeah.
I already made the motion to go to the Board of Equalization. Do we need to second, do we need to do that? Go back to the Board of Equalization or not?
They're willing to hold the paper.
Okay, so we
Till
don't
the
have to
30th,
go.
yeah.
We don't have to go, okay.
yeah.
Okay, thanks to Commissioner for wanting to do that. We'll just wait then. Okay, commission reports then. Moving with our agenda. Well, I will start then, guys. So remember how I promised gifts from the economic mobility trip. Well, today I brought them.
Oh, the thinkers, huh?
So here's a hat for you, Commissioner Adams.
Well, swag.
And
Sorry, that's all.
Commissioner Stubbs.
Oh, thank
That's
you.
yours.
buddy.
Where did this come from?
Economic Mobility, NACO, National Association of
Really?
Counties. They took us as a group. They awarded us
Virginia.
50,000.
That's right.
Yeah, and apparently these stickers are so valuable, and you have some too, Commissioner Stubbs. They fight over them, but you stick them either on your toolboxes or hard hats. So that's
How funny is this?
yeah, and
Put it on your tractor hat.
Wow.
that's a charger.
Awesome.
So hopefully you like those. And for me, I got a sample of the crude oil that comes out of that place.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
so
So they don't have it like Vaseline, huh? The one coming out of the.
well, they make different products, but this is just like their oil that comes there. And yeah, but anyhow,
That's cool.
I thought of you guys, and there you go. Merry
Thank you so
Thank
Christmas.
you. Thank you.
Hi.
That's awesome.
And Mac and I have been working on resubmitting our proposed economic mobility outline.
Okay.
And the process basically is we're going to take what we're proposing publicly to get everyone in the community informed and get their feedback and input, and then revise that. And I think ultimately the goal is to try and grow that 50,000, maybe match funding perhaps,
Yeah.
and really increase that. But really just getting some ideas within our county through different entities about what can our county focus on in regards to economic development. So yeah, that was what the group had been doing. Went out to Franklin, and I'm on the newspaper there. So
Yeah,
if you look
yep.
up that big, I made it. I'm even wearing the San Juan County jacket. So that was an experience. Now that's just something I just wanted to share. As far as my meetings go, the only thing I wanted to kind of mention and highlight is Utah Navajo Trust Fund Dene Advisory Committee. I proposed at that meeting that we consider a rule to try and fund some of our roads that are in need of deep repair. And when I shared this thought, what I had in mind was the Red Mesa Road between Montezuma Creek and Phillips Camp. It's a stretch of road, probably 4 miles, maybe 5 miles, that no one really wants to claim, that the oil companies who used to exist at the time paved to go to the Phillips Camp oil workers housing. That's always been paved for quite the time I remember, and then eventually it would just be dirt road from the end of that pavement going all the way down to Red Mesa chapter, continuing on to that highway that goes between
Over by Tees,
Bus
huh?
and Tees.
Hmm.
And so Navajo Nation is not claiming it because there's never been any environmental impact study. But that road has become very hazardous. Big dips in the road, people are dodging it. People are falling into it.
Is it claimed by anybody? Is it it's not a county. It's not a
Not a
Navajo
Navajo,
Nation road. It's
not
just
it's
Be-
just a
yeah.
road, and it's a high use road.
It is.
And so now the thought is, perhaps if the county is willing to help with in kind, maybe having the county bring their equipment to pack whatever potholes there are, and helping with the cost to just repair those holes and cracks. We can set aside funds to pay for the materials. If we can say the county is willing to do in kind to bring equipment to repair that, we just need to have the funds available to buy those materials to repair the road. And it's a temporary fix, and it's in dire need, and that's the only way it's gonna happen is if we try it that in that sense. And so I'm thinking of calling it maybe the public safety risk road,
Yeah, high
You know,
risk. Yeah.
high risk road maintenance, or something like that. And if that rule is adopted, the trust fund would then be able to fund whatever we determine, the county determines materials are needed to repair that road, so that it's much more safer, and then just start from that point. So that was an important discussion. I'd like to see it move forward. I know Herman Farley, chapter president, Red Mesa, he's been talking about, Navajo BIA, Navajo Nation really honors agreements that are in place. And when someone outside of an agreement tries to repair a road, then they raise fuss about it. But if we can just have some agreement between them and the chapter saying, we'll help with in-kind where we're able to legally, if you can buy the materials, we'll assist the chapter with high-risk roads. And then move with that to solve that challenging issue with that road there would be great. So probably be hitting you up, Mac, with Tony Dayesh to put together a proposed rule that is specific to that funding that might be available through the trust fund, and we can probably time limit it. Perhaps even have the discussion that Herman Farley wants, which is eventually, and he passed a resolution saying we want to move that road entirely to the state inventory road.
We passed a resolution earlier this year, I believe, recommending that the governor accept that as a UDOT road through there, or UDOT route.
And I think that would just be leaps and bounds to be able to have that come to fruition.
Yeah, that
Get
comes
on
all the
that
way up
road.
through Tisnos Post and
Yep.
up through.
Is any part of that road reconstruction that UDOT's doing, does it come anywhere near this?
No.
It ends right by the post office.
Yeah,
Oh.
right at that intersection, right there in Montezuma Creek.
It's
It's
got
kind
an in-project side
I was
there.
just going to say, can they spill any dirt or any material when they go by?
Excess.
just go over there if their truck's still a little
something,
full.
Have their trucks drive out a little bit out of the way.
Exactly.
Right.
Turnaround points over there.
That was just some of the discussions that we were hoping we might be able to work out. Navajo revitalization, of course, commissioners sit on there, Commissioner Stubbs, and I know that as far as Navajo revitalization funds, if trust funds able to match, you'd be preserving money on both sides to fund a project that benefits the community. So maybe
Yeah,
we'll
we
work
can
on
do
that in too. Other than that, looking forward to Christmas and a new year, and that's my report for the time being, commissioners.
Okay.
Go ahead, Commissioner Stubbs.
I guess about last Monday, not this past, not yesterday, but the Monday before, we had the Tuesday, we had the opportunity to, as a seven county commissioner, to appear before the Supreme Court regarding the project from the railroad, the oil railroad project coming from the Uinta Basin. And it was a very, very exciting for us to be able to, first when we heard that our project was going to be heard, it was very, very exciting. We had to make all kinds of decisions to hire good lawyers that they can represent us in the Supreme Court. And basically what the case was, in the very beginning when the project was, a proposal for the project was created, we had an opposition from a group using the NEPA decision. And so anyway, what happened, first went to the Washington D.C. court, and the lawyers at the time, they thought that that would be a good thing to have her there. And so we appeared before that, and I listened to that court case, and I thought we were winning. Well, I thought, wow, we are winning. But in the end, they used the NEPA rule. They created this rule for us, saying that from the time that oil leaves the basin all the way it reaches the Gulf, we are responsible for anything that happened to the cargo, not only right now, but for future, a never-ending responsibility of what can happen to that oil. The one thing that oil is like Vaseline, and it's not liquid. So if it falls in the river, it's really good. It's easy to collect. If it falls on the ground, it's easy to pick it up and put it back, and that's all going into the ground. So basically, so we had all the support from all the legislatures and from our state, including everybody was behind supporting the project. And so we hired some good lawyers. We took it to the Supreme Court, and then when we were given a schedule, we figured that we needed to get some good lawyers. And at that point, not even us commissioners knew all the details, and everything was kind of kept very, very tight because we didn't want anything to come out that can be used. Anyway, so on Monday, they had a hearing, and it was so interesting to listen to that because I was glad that I can recognize, I had listened to other cases, I like to listen to cases. I was glad that I can recognize the voices of each of the justice, and it was interesting to see the presenter from the other side went first. Hardly any question was asked to this person, and it was kind of interesting. And then when it was our turn, there was lots of questions. There was questions even from both sides of the conservatives and the more of non-conservative judges, and so when I went to 7 County Commissioning that Thursday, when I was on the meeting, it was so interesting when the lawyers, the main lawyer that was helping choose which lawyer we're gonna pay to be the one to present the case. And so he make points like you can tell that the first person they get asked any question. Usually they ask question because they want to learn more. Some of them already made up their mind. The most conservative ones, they were just kind of quiet. It's just like maybe a sign, things can still change. A sign it can be that they already made a decision kind of thing. So we are very hopeful that's gonna go through on the same day. And I had a long article that one of the lawyers appeared in a publication where it talks about our case and it talks about the same day President-elect Trump talk about how they're gonna any project that's worth so much money is gonna be really it's gonna get permits really quick. And anyway, so we are very hopeful for that because we also been looking into a possibility of something coming through San Juan County, and maybe I'll make it so it doesn't have to wait years and years. And one of the things that our counselor brought up is the cost. We have been paying lots of money. The investors, everybody pay lots of money while they're waiting for this project to come to pass. Anyway, so I also attended planning and zoning last night. It was kind of interesting to see as they, work together through all they're working on the
Where
planning.
did Trent go last night?
Who?
Trent. Didn't he get up and leave early?
He did, yeah. I don't know where he went.
I know. I mean,
Yeah.
I know. I was
Maybe
wondering.
he had a
Wasn't Lake
party or
Powell.
something, huh?
Well, that's the thing. I was thinking that at first I thought that he was just low because I can see a hat. I guess somebody put a hat, so I thought maybe he was just kind of low. And so sometimes it's really hard to hear them, because
is.
they just don't.
Yeah.
They don't even get close to the microphone.
they
They're
don't.
hearing them. Anyway,
They scoot
so
back.
I didn't recognize one that looked like quite a tall guy sitting.
Cody Nelson?
um,
Nelson
it
was
was.
on the end. Yeah. Yeah.
Cody was here in the end,
Yeah.
and
next
then
to
we
Melissa.
had
No, somebody was sitting. Lloyd was here, and then Trent, and then another guy.
Cody
Yeah,
Cody Nielsen.
and then
Okay.
Melissa and
All
then
right.
Kristen.
All right.
Yeah, and we also have what's his name from
You had Anne and then
and
Shay
yeah.
and then Lloyd.
Yeah. Anyway, so that was kind of interesting to see, and it went. I mean, I left 20 to 10 or
you
something
went
like that.
late.
And there was
10:30.
they were ready to. They start putting the coats on, so I called Brian because we were still in the hotel. That was ready to come, and then they start. So we need to make a decision on this one thing, and everybody sat down, and I just thought, well, I had to review the packet one more time so I could go home. So anyway, so that it was nice to see them how we had one person that was here, but she didn't make any comments, but she has some concerns about some of the zoning things. Anyway, so I attended lots of the budget meetings, seems like, and for tomorrow I'm gonna go to the SURDA meeting. I'm gonna make my appearance in Price.
Oh, are you?
Anyway, so I guess you'll be there.
I think so.
Yeah.
Anyway, so
We'll be there.
I think that's
Or
it.
online. Maybe online. Are you going up there to Price?
I'm going to Price,
Okay.
and then I'm moving. I'm going on up for USIP meeting the next day.
Okay.
Then I'll be home. I'll come home after USIP, so I can be here on Friday.
Cool. A lot of miles. Huh? Throughout 16 years.
Well, thank you, Commissioner Stubbs, for your report. So busy. Mr. Adams.
Well, I just wonder. I wonder if Larry has anything to say. Larry, are you? We know we can see you. We didn't give you a chance to introduce yourself. Do you want to take yourself off mute? And tell us what's going on.
I've been trying to take myself off mute all morning long. Can you hear me now?
We can hear you now.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Well, I don't have a whole lot to report to you other than the fact that I appreciate all the work that you guys do, guys. And are you a guy, Commissioner Stubbs?
What's that?
He's asking you if you're a guy.
Am I a guy?
You?
Am I?
No. I referred to you as guys. I should have said you commissioners.
Okay. I'm sorry. I couldn't hear you very good. So
In any event, there's a few pieces of legislation that John's working on, and they're getting passed. But he's primarily working on transitioning to the Senate in a few weeks. Our last day, we have to be out of our office on Thursday.
Okay.
And so, and we have all of our computers and everything turned in then as well. So it's going to be a little difficult to do business, but if you need to get a hold of me, I'll have my phone until I think the 3rd of January. And then we'll get new equipment and I'll let you know what that is.
Larry, do you know
So,
if they were able to get the downwinders reauthorized?
I haven't seen the final on that. I know they're working on it, Bruce.
Well, I knew they were working on it even clear back into September and October, and I didn't know if they were able to successfully get that done.
Yeah, I haven't seen that it's been, but I'll tell you what I'll do, Bruce. I'll do some checking and digging here later today, and then get back to you and let you know.
Okay.
thank
Thanks.
you.
What else?
You.
Just I appreciate the fact that you'll still recognize me and allow me to participate. So.
Hey, Larry, this is Mac. Just to jump in on that RECA bill, we had spoke to Mayor Hedgeland she had a meeting with Senator Lee's staff that was here in town about the possibility of adding
With
Joe Brown.
Yeah, and I'm in the process of talking to him too, and I was gonna contact you and in order for us to make sure that Monticello gets included in as part of the bill.
So yeah, in the bill, some of the proposed language included uranium workers, and so not just downwinders. It's if they worked in a uranium mill, and they had proposed they are adding Missouri, Alaska, Tennessee, and Kentucky to that to extend that coverage to the communities exposed to the nuclear waste processing. And so we had talked to Joel.
Brown.
So Commissioner Stubbs, she had reached out to Joel and Senator Lee's office to make that request to see if we can add the Monticello mill site to that.
Okay.
If we can add that, then it takes. So Congressman Curtis was awesome about helping us get the funds for the cancer screening, but we're finding that now if they find cancer, now that's the question is, well, where do I go for treatment? Who's going to pay for the treatment? And so if we can get it added to this bill, then that kind of makes it permanent funded through that Downwinders Fund.
Right, I understand. I'll pursue that, and I'll also coordinate with Joel.
Okay, it's under Senator
see
Howley
how
is the
it
one that's sponsoring that. At least the information that we received. They were working on a draft legislation for that.
All right, very good. Yeah, we'll check on that and get back with you.
I'm glad you brought that up.
Anything else?
Nope.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Well, the same to all of you. Bruce, have you got your bags packed?
And
I still have a meeting on the 30th.
I know you do. I got the agenda. I got the notice of it.
And now, as you,
Yeah, I don't want to get out of the door too quick.
so are you gonna be in Washington? Are you
No,
gonna-
no, I'll still be here in Utah.
Okay, I'm gonna be going in March, and so I'm gonna come and visit the new senator.
I'm sure he would welcome that.
Yeah, anyway.
Of course, you need to understand they don't expect to have offices in Washington for 6 months.
Oh, really?
Wow.
Yeah, yeah.
Are you going to be in
And,
Washington on the 20th of January?
Me? No,
Yeah.
I'm not.
You're not?
No, I won't be there.
Well, Senator Curtis has invited me to come and participate at the inauguration.
Well, see, you rank higher than I do. I didn't get an invite.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna pack all my snowmobile gear and come out there and try not to freeze to death.
Well, that's probably about what you'll want to do in terms of just leave your snowmobile home, Bruce. I don't think they'll let you take it on the
Yeah,
airplane.
that's probably true. I know I don't get a seat. I'm standing room only, but I'm gonna be there.
Well, good. I assume Chris will go with you.
Yeah, I'm actually taking my oldest 3 children and their spouses with me.
Oh, cool.
Oh, you're gonna have a real party.
Yeah, they're excited to go to the inauguration. I told them we probably won't see Trump. We can see him better on the TV than we can at DC.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. Yeah, you want to take some binoculars or maybe
Yeah.
even a spotting scope.
yeah, I think they're going to be looking at me as much as I'm looking at them. They'll think I'm a questionable character in the crowd.
But you can
Yeah,
feel
make-
free to wear a mega hat and
Yeah,
Make-
I take my
make-
cowboy
make-
hat that he signed.
oh, good.
Make sure-
yeah.
Make sure you don't carry that day, Bruce.
I'll make sure. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I appreciate the opportunity of associating with all of you, and they're in the process now of making assignments as to areas that we'll be serving. They've asked me to continue to serve, and I will. And I've told them that I don't want to change. I want to continue to serve the southeastern part of the state. So
Well,
I
thank
think they're
you.
going to let me do it. So
We like that. It's nice to have people that know us and not have to introduce ourselves all over again.
well, that gives you a chance. If you wanted to get rid of me, you could say something to somebody, and they probably would. But at this point in time, they're telling me I can pick what I want to do, and I've told them I want to stay there. So
Good.
Thank you for staying with us.
I what?
Thank you for staying with us.
Oh, you're more than welcome, and thank you for staying with me. Yeah, and Bruce, you may be off the commission, but you're not out of mind. How's that?
Well, thanks. You know, I got appointed to the state UDOT commission.
Ah, well, that's a great opportunity for you.
Yeah, it'll be interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. There's no shortage of projects that they work on or are going to work on.
Well, that's the truth.
Dan gave a report on at Canyon Country indicating that they've got a busy year ahead of them.
Yep.
So
Well,
anyway,
I'll finish with my report.
okay, very good. Go ahead. I'll check out verbally.
Larry, you'll be glad to hear this. I spent from the 5th to the 10th down in Las Vegas at the National Finals Rodeo.
Oh, did that-
I
Did our
think I
cowboy do
saw a
good?
post or something on that.
Yeah.
there was a cowboy coming from the reservation that was
There
really
was
good.
4 of the champions all from Utah.
Ties, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so Utah was really well represented, and it was fun. It was an exciting time. I did have my first UDOT commission meeting on Friday last week, and got kind of an introduction, and they wanted to know if I had anything to say, and I said, yeah, I want to see the roads get fixed from Spanish Fork all the way to the Arizona-Utah border on the eastern side of the state.
Wow.
They said, well, they had some big plans ahead, so I said, well, I'll be checking on it, because that's kind of what I got on here for, was to try and get these roads improved. And,
Especially those narrow roads that we're trying to.
yeah, so
That's good.
other than that, I've just been excited about the meetings coming up. So I'll be going to Price tomorrow for the 4-county CERTA meeting, and then I'll leave and go up to USIP after that. The next day is USIP, and come home and be here for the Friday luncheon.
Yeah.
So I'm glad to hear that 7 counties not giving up on that railroad.
But you know, it's gonna be. I get excited just thinking about the possibilities, you know.
Yeah,
And I was hoping there was gonna be a regular railroad with I can take a train ride when the
yeah,
project get completed, but I cannot go on top of an oil tank.
yeah.
Full Vaseline, huh?
That's all I've got to report, Jamie.
All right. Thank you, Commissioner Adams. Thank you, Larry, for keeping us updated. All right, commissioners, I think that's our agenda for today.
So that we make a motion to adjourn.
So we need a motion to adjourn unless we want to sit together some more. But yeah, if you want.
I'll second Sylvia's motion to adjourn.
Motion by Commissioner Stubbs to adjourn, second by Commissioner Adams. All right, let's take a vote. All those in favor to adjourn?
Aye.
Aye.
3 in favor. We are adjourned at 12:26. Thank you much.
Thanks, guys. Thanks, Larry. We'll see you later. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. I'll wait till are we offline?